Episode 1. The Gilded Cage. Welcome to Soul Speak Tales, a new way to learn English speaking. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe. In the heart of a kingdom draped in snow and secrets, a princess discovers that her life is not her own. A crown lost to history, a prophecy whispered in shadows, and a journey that will cross oceans, betrayals, and empires. This is not just a tale of royalty. It is the story of courage, sacrifice, and the choices that shape the fate of nations. This is the Last Crown of Elaria. The whispers in the hall. The winter wind clawed at the high glass windows of Elaria Palace, rattling them like the bones of a restless ghost. Inside, the marble corridors smelled faintly of beeswax and old paper, the scent of a kingdom preserved, but not alive. Princess Eleanor moved silently, her gloved fingers grazing the cold stone walls. Every step echoed. Every echo felt like it might betray her. From beyond the arched doorway to the council chamber came voices. Not the smooth, careful tones of court diplomacy, but the sharp, hushed urgency of men who thought themselves alone. The king grows weaker. The people grow restless. It is time to act. And the girl, she knows nothing. She won't be a problem. She'll be married off before she suspects a thing. Eleanor froze, her breath catching. She knew those voices, her father's own advisors. The words clawed into her, cold and poisonous. The woman in the cloak. Later that night, when the corridors had emptied and the candles guttered low, Eleanor slipped outside into the palace gardens. Snow lay like spun sugar over the hedges, and the moon was a pale coin in the sky. That's when she saw her. A woman in a tattered grey cloak, standing where the roses once bloomed. Her face was half-shadowed, her eyes glinting with something ancient. "You are Eleanor of Elaria," the woman said, her voice like wind through hollow stone. "Yes." Eleanor hesitated. "Who are you?" "A messenger. There is a crown, the last crown, older than your throne, older than your name. If it falls into the wrong hands, your kingdom will burn." Before Eleanor could speak, the woman pressed something into her palm, a silver coin etched with markings she didn't recognize, and vanished into the snow without leaving footprints. The hidden chamber. That night, Eleanor couldn't sleep. She turned the coin over in her hands, tracing its strange spirals and Celtic knots. Something in her, some instinct older than fear, led her through the palace in the dead of night. Down corridors no one walked anymore, past portraits whose painted eyes seemed to follow her. In the library, she found it. Not a door. A seam in the wall, so fine it looked like a crack in the wood. Pressing the coin into the seam, she heard a click, and the panel swung open. Inside, the air was dry and heavy. Books bound in leather the color of dried blood lined the walls. And on the far table, a rolled parchment sealed in wax. She broke the seal. It was a map, but not of Elaria. It showed coastlines she didn't recognize, strange compass roses, and in the margins, more of the curling script from the coin. At the center of the map, inked in deep crimson, were the words, "The crown must never return." The weight of secrets. Eleanor sat in the candlelight, the map trembling in her hands. The palace felt different now, less like a home and more like a cage gilded in deception. Her father had always told her that a princess's greatest duty was to marry well, to forge alliances, to smile through banquets and bow under crowns that were heavier than they looked. But this was something else entirely. Somewhere out there was a crown powerful enough to decide the fate of kingdoms, and her family's enemies were moving to claim it. She didn't know yet whether she was ready to fight them. She only knew that she didn't have a choice. This was the first episode of The Last Crown of Elaria. The second will come soon. And with it, the first move in a game of power that will span oceans and empires.